Hi, and welcome to Movie Reviews. On Wednesday, I went to see a film called Aquaman. He did play a role in the Justice League with Batman, Wonder Woman, um, obviously, they brought Superman back to life in that film, and I think there was one more. So anyway, we went to see the film last week. We also saw it in 3D, which was quite good because I thought it was going to be similar to the Lego film Aquaman, but it wasn't. It was completely different. It's certainly started off as obviously this lady appears from nowhere, washed up on the this near this lighthouse where this keeper obviously notices her being washed up, and they obviously brings her back to life. They fall back. They fall in love with each other, and then she is now her own people were looking for her and found her and tried to get her back, but thankfully she managed to kill off the intruders that were trying to obtain her to go back. But then she had a boy who was later found out to be the Aquaman. And then obviously he grew up and not knowing that he was, I suppose, what was he? He was part land, part sea. So then the film unravels to where he goes down this journey of saving this submarine, and then obviously that's the start of a war against the underworld called Atlantis, where he is originally supposed to be from, where his mum is supposed to be from, and then somebody comes and tries to persuade him to come back and fight for his right to be king. Anyway, she tries tries to take him back. She goes back, and he also finds out that he's got a brother who is currently king at the moment, and he was told, Aqua was told that his mum was sacrificed, and so he goes on this journey of with this girl who's the current king's lady, I think, and they have this time capsule in their hand, and they have to go to a place in Italy to find out how to get to the message that's encrypted in this time capsule, this tin type thing, and basically the king's army, or hired help, is trying to stop them, and then he gets to this undiscovered world, which is in a land of nowhere in the desert, and he has to go and find this area where he has to take the previous king's kind of don't know what really what it's called. It's like a fork, but with it's on a stick, but it's got a fork shape on the end of it, type thing, and that's in the trenches area where he discovers his mum is there, and he obviously has to get to this thing because he has to get past the creature that's guarding it. And apparently the rule is, if you are a true king, he will step aside and let the true king take his crown, or that kind of thing, and he wins that battle and undoes the grip of the guy who's got hold of this fork, whatever to call it, and then he obviously gets it and he becomes Aquaman in a different total suit. Then he fights off his brother. Then his mum comes back, and both worlds were happy ever after. And his mum returns to the land to see Aquaman's dad again, and that was the end, as far as I'm aware. But it was a decent film. It was full of action. It was certainly beautiful scenes. Special effects were brilliant. Certainly keeping you into the story. Certainly keeping things alive, more or less. Obviously, it was telling a story, and it was basically a quite simple story, basically. How Atlantis was a place where it was on land and it was destroyed and went back underwater, and they obviously wanted to get back on land again, and obviously doing all these attacks. But it was a really interesting film. It's certainly an eye-opener. If you like DC characters, it's certainly a film to go and see. Certainly either in 2D or 3D, it's certainly a film to see.